Hello, fourth graders. Writing today, we are working on day 2 of writing leads. So get your writing notebook and a pencil out. All right. Last time we had writing, we talked about 2 types of leads that you can use to start your story off with. Do you remember those 2 types of leads? We had sounds and questions, and we worked on making a list of possible leads, things that we maybe want to use. Today I have a story for you that we're going to read together. And this one has a new type of lead. Okay? Here's our story. It's called The Hunt. I woke up early one spring day to the sun shining through the blinds in my bedroom. I rubbed my eyes, stretched my arms, and then remembered what day it was. Easter! My family was meeting my cousins at the park for an Easter egg hunt later that day. I saw my Easter clothes all lined up on the top of my dresser. I got dressed, brushed my teeth, and headed to the kitchen. Mom was there, drinking her coffee in her pajamas. "You're up and dressed early," she exclaimed. "You must be excited for something." "Mom, you know that it's Easter, and I'm so excited to see Gabriel, Sarah, and Sophia," I said. "I'm sure that your cousins are excited to see you too. Now, let's eat some breakfast," she replied. The day drudged on until it was finally 3 o'clock. We were all lined up behind a row of cones, ready for the announcer to count down to the start of the hunt. Gabriel, Sarah, and Sophia were right next to me, along with about 100 other kids, all trying to get the most eggs. This year, there was also a special prize, a golden egg. 3, 2, 1, go! Called the announcer, and we all immediately rushed out onto the field in search of the colorful eggs. I grabbed a red one, then a green one, and a yellow one right after. Soon my basket was halfway full. I looked around, scoping out the competition. I noticed my cousin Sophia, who was only 3 years old, with only 1 egg in her basket. Each time she reached for one, another big kid beat her to it. I walked toward her, intending to give her a couple of my eggs. That's when I saw the shimmer of gold from between a patch of 3 dandelions. I changed course to snag the golden egg, and then paused in my tracks. Something inspired me to go back and grab Sophia's hand. I led her to the dandelion patch and pulled one flower aside so that she could see the golden egg. Another kid saw what I was doing and started running toward us, but I stood in his way. Sophia's eyes lit up. She reached down and grabbed the egg, beaming. She ran to her mom and showed off the egg she had found, while I continued my hunt. Sophia exchanged the egg for a huge basket of candy, stuffed bunnies, toys, and Easter snacks. She held on tightly to the basket for the rest of the day. The basket even had a seat next to her at the dinner table. Seeing my little cousin so content made my Easter more special than I could have imagined. So, let's look at the beginning of that story again. How does the author begin the story? I woke up early one spring day to the sun shining through the blinds in my bedroom. I rubbed my eyes, stretched my arms, and then remembered what day it was. Easter! My family was meeting my cousins at the park for an Easter egg hunt later that day. How did the author start this story? Did you notice how those action words, right? The sun was shining through. I rubbed my eyes, stretched my arms. We can start our story with action words to make it interesting. It makes the reader want to continue because they know things are happening. So let's look at our anchor chart from yesterday. Find this worksheet in your resources section. We're going to fill in this bottom left box. We did sound and question yesterday. Today we're going to do action. Let's go ahead and write action in that top box. And here's one example that I have that I would like you to write down too. The baseball zoomed over home plate as our parents cheered from the stands. Now, there's not a lot of action in there, and it's just one sentence. Our lead is short. It just gets our reader interested. So it's nice and short. And I know that this is action because the ball is zooming, right? It zoomed, and parents cheered. So I can picture it in my mind, and I can almost hear it. It's kind of like onomatopoeia with the cheering there, but it's also a good visualization because I can see these things happening with the action words. Another one might be, as the roller coaster crept out of the loading zone, I squeezed the grab bar tightly. Or, I rolled over and covered my head with my pillow as I groaned about waking up so early. Do you see how those all have action words in it? Now, those are all leads for different possible stories that I have in my mind. We're still working with our one story, with our seed, with our draft that we started. So what I want you to do today, writers, is today you're going to keep working on writing leads. Find that list that you started yesterday. You're going to keep going off of that. Today I want you to start with action leads, though. I want you to try and incorporate an action lead today. What things are you doing to start your story? What's going on to start your story? Like, the story was about the Easter egg hunt, but it didn't start right there, right? We backtracked a little bit. Most of the story is about the Easter egg hunt, but you might need to set it up just a little bit. So think, how are you using action words to set up your story? You're going to keep this in your masterpiece section. Okay, just keep going off of that list from yesterday. We're going to use this list soon. We got one more type of lead to learn about, and we'll pick a lead. So working on action leads. If you have more time and you thought of different sound or question leads after yesterday's lesson, go ahead and add some more of those to your list too. If you finish before your 10-minute timer is up, though, turn to the more stories time and work on another personal narrative idea in there. Maybe you really you have another lead in your mind for another personal narrative, and you want to work on it there. Remember, our masterpiece section we're doing is just for our seed ideas, for our class one, just for this one idea. The more stories is for those other ideas that you have about your life, personal narratives. So go ahead and work on those, okay? I can't wait to see you soon. We're going to pick our lead in just a few days here. And we will continue on with learning more how to make our stories even better, writers. Talk to you soon.